Hello guys and welcome to my top 10 pickups of 2022. Now I may be a little confused on what I mean by pickups. So I always do like top 10 action figures, top 10 robots, but the pickups are figures that I got in 2022 that were not released in 2022. So essentially backtracking, getting some older pieces to add to my collection, that's essentially what the pickups are. So they're kind of, old things. Some are obscure. Some are just a year or two older than 2022. However, they didn't come out in the year, so they got put here. These are 10 of the coolest acquisitions that I got within the year that didn't come out in the year. So this is the honorable mention. I like starting these off with the honorable mention. And this is the SD Gundam Force GP02. I've wanted this ever since I was a kid because I had the SD Gundam Force GP01, and I was able to find it complete, and I think it still lights up if I remember where his button is. Yeah, it's kind of faint, but you can see his eyes are still lighting up. Yeah, he's just such a fun little figure, man. I love SD Gundam Force, and I'm really happy to get this guy. However, he's an honorable mention because actually Gundam took a couple other spots, including one very high up. However, let's start off number 10 with a very cool flea market find, and that is the Spider-Man 2 Superposable Spider-Man. And you may be thinking, oh wow, this is only number 10? Well yeah, it's only number 10 because it's about 20 years old. It's not that great of a figure, honestly, but it's still pretty great. It definitely doesn't... I think the reason why this is so low is because the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man made number 1 action figure for me. So it's like you went from one of the most fun action figures ever made to something like this. It's an old Toy Biz figure. It suffers from Toy Biz isms. However, it's still an awesome figure to get. Tobey Maguire is by far my favorite Spider-Man. So I'm very happy to have what is arguably currently one of his best figures. Will I get the Hasbro Marvel Legend one? I don't know. We'll see. Next up is Tobot Captain Police. What a weird, wild figure to get in the year. However, it's very cool, very impressive. I didn't flip out his heels. That's why he doesn't want to stand up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love transforming this guy. It is a Korean transforming robot toy line. Let's raise the camera a little bit. That's what it is. That's what he's from. He is a Korean transforming robot. I did do a review on him if you want to check that out. But he's very big, very clunky, very chunky, very big. He just didn't come out in 2022, so he's a pickup. However, I was very happy to pick it up. I think it was well worth the like $50, $60-ish I spent on it. And I actually have my eyes on another Tobot that I think I might be picking up within the next coming weeks or so. So yeah, Captain Police is definitely worthy of being on the list. Next up, we're going Gundam with my high-grade Holy Grail, and that was the Colony Type Rick Dom 2. I mean, look at it. I've talked about it before. It's kind of like if a Rick Dom walked into the painting factory on Zaku Day. It's a Rick Dom in Zaku colors. I love it. It blends so well with certain Zakus. I just love the two-tone greens. It's a Rick Dom, man. I love Rick Doms. And this is just, for how old it is, a very fun, very good figure. I really enjoy it. Well, not a lot of painting really necessary with it. You get it built, you get it assembled, and you're like, yep, that's a Rick Dom right there. Now, granted, you could always paint in the little thrusters with some red if you're that bothered. I used to be that bothered when I started, but nowadays I'm kind of like, that's on the back of them, and I'm not worried. It's fun, man. I did have to overpay a little bit for it. A high grade like this would typically go for about $20 nowadays, and I spent about 40. But I think it was worth it, because I have no idea when this thing's going to get a reprint, and it just made me happy enough to have it, finally, after wanting it for all of this time. Because I've been collecting Gunpla for over half a decade now. So that's one I definitely really wanted. However, there is another Gundam kit that is going to be pretty high up on this list. So next up, this was a birthday present from a family member. Thank you very much. Manga Realization Iron Man. This is one that I never even really had on my radar. It's one that I've always thought was really cool, and it's one of those things you never really think to buy, but once you get it as a gift, you're like, whoa, this thing is awesome, and it really is. How they integrated like the repulsors as like these arm-mounted flintlocks, how he has this weird jetpack, how you just drop him with his knees. He's very posable, very fun. Very fluid. I mean, it's a Bandai import figure, it's definitely not cheap. Definitely not cheap. Thank you very much again for getting this for me, because it's really sweet. Yeah, I love the paint. I love the style of the mask. It is just so nice. I have a knockoff Stormtrooper that's actually very high quality, but this is the real deal. This is a real manga realization Iron Man, and it's definitely worthy of being on the list. I adore this thing. Let me shift some of this stuff over, though. I kind of underestimated how big some of this stuff is going to get. So next up, this was a big year for me for Transformers Prime. That is definitely the case, and I think the winner when it comes to the Transformers Prime acquisitions of the year was APC Toys Dark Master, or just Transformers Prime Megatron. That's what he is. I love him. He's great. He is a knockoff upscale of the first edition deluxe Megatron that I've never had the chance to get, but having it big and Voyager and shiny silver and gorgeous with a dark star saber is great. It's great. It's amazing. I love this figure. Definitely worthy of being on the list. Man, go get yourself one. I've had some people ask me, it's sold out, where can I get it? It's still available from where I bought it, TF Safari. That's where I bought it. I've linked some people. If you're ever curious about where I get some of this stuff, ask me. Some cases I'll be able to help you out. In other cases, like that Tobey Maguire SpiderMan, I just got lucky. Sometimes you just get lucky. Next up, this is another big boy, and I'm actually just going to immediately put him in the back because he's just that big. This was another birthday present. Again, thank you very much. It is the original MP01 Optimus Prime. Oh, man. Oh, man. Let's at least zoom in on him a little bit. What an impressive toy. If you are a Transformers collector, you owe it to yourself at some point to get your hands on a version of MP01. I'm actually happy that this is the original Hasbro version with the short smokestacks and the big old scratch on the body. He's got a big old damage where he got hurt by Megatron. It's just kind of hokey, and I kind of adore it. Yeah, he can move his mouth plate. He's made out of so much metal. He's 12 inches tall. He is a stunning Optimus Prime toy. After owning this and owning MP10, in many ways, I actually think this is better than MP10. I do not have the MP version 3 Optimus. I don't have a bootleg or a real one. At some point, I do want to probably get one that's a little less than official, but still high quality to kind of get a feel for that figure, but it just doesn't have the presence that something like this does. This is mesmerizing. This is a stunning toy. And like I said, if you're a Transformers collector, and if you have the $100 to spare, get yourself a version of MP01, man. You're not going to regret it. It is stunning. However, as amazing as that figure is, I actually think my favorite Transformers pickup of the year is the one that doesn't even transform. Flame Toys IDW Megatron. This guy caught me off guard with how much I adore this figure. The posability, the sculpt, the design. This is seriously, I did a list of some of my favorite Megatrons. This is among one of my favorite Megatrons. And again, doesn't even transform. It's basically a Gundam model, but it's a transformer. It's just a model kit that you can pose. But I mean, look at this guy. The posability is awesome. The sculpt is awesome. It doesn't matter what pose you get him in. He just has so much presence. He's just I am Megatron. He's just Megatron, man. You look at this and you're yeah, that's Megatron. And I love it. Man, I can't get enough of this guy. Cannot get enough of it. He stayed on the desk for so long because I just couldn't stop fiddling with him. And I finally, after ages, I was just you know what? Let me put him on the shelf. Let me put him with the rest of my Megatrons because I got to start appreciating some other stuff other than this Megatron. However, definitely worthy of being within the top 5 pickups of the year. I love this APC Toys Megatron. It's kind of crazy how 2 Megatrons took top 10 acquisition spots of the year. It's crazy. Next up, I'm not sure if this is a figure I'm ever going to review, but let's just say, ever since I was a kid, I always wanted a figure of Zero from Mega Man X. I think I played X6. That's the one I played as a kid. That was actually the one where Zero came back. So it was kind of hype in the game, Zero, you're back! Nice to see you, bud! And yeah, I always loved him. I loved his look. I loved how he slashed with his sword. Zero's is cool, dude. I'm not the biggest Mega Man fan. I can't really tell you much about the lore or the story even. But just playing Mega Man X6 back in the day, I really wanted a toy of Zero. and unfortunately there just wasn't one around. So getting the Kotobukiya model kit this year, especially for as cheap as I did, I stacked a Black Friday sale with some Sideshow rewards, and I got him for like 11 bucks. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to have this Kotobukiya Zero. I'm very excited to see how, what's the company? The company that's going to start doing Mega Man stuff here soon. I'm blanking. Is it Loyal Subjects? I don't know. It's not Loyal Subjects. I already did it. Jada Toys. Jada Toys is going to be doing a main line of Mega Man stuff. I'm very excited to see what that will bring. Because, like I said, even though I'm not the biggest fan, and I'm especially not one of the biggest video game players, I love Mega Man. You know, I played some of the games growing up. I think I watched a little bit of the shows. Mega Man's cool, dude. I love Mega Man. Give me more Mega Man. And Zero is arguably one of my favorite Mega Man characters. And I'm very happy to finally have a really cool toy of him. So there's number 3 right there. Let's kind of move him off to the side. He's got very big hair. I'm sure you've noticed. Number 2 goes to a Holy Grail acquisition that I'm very happy I was able to get. It is the NECA, I think it was New York Comic Con exclusive Batman. This was packed in with like an alien Joker. However, I didn't want that. I just wanted this Batman. And this Batman is remarkable. This is definitely one of my favorite Batman figures. I think I might be doing an updated Batman favorites list at some point, because I think that list has changed pretty drastically after getting this guy and a few others. So I'll probably end up making an update on some point, at some point for that. However, this NECA Batman, ooh, great. It's so nice. When I envision Batman, this is basically what I see in my mind's eye. This is Batman. This is by far not only one of my favorite Batman figures, one of my favorite NECA figures. It's outstanding. It's absolutely remarkable, absolutely outstanding. I did do a review on it if you want to check it out. I didn't review everything that's on this list. I'm not sure if I will. MPO1, it's kind of a lot going on there. I'm not sure. But hey, if you ever want a closer look at some of these, I have done some reviews. I'm not sure if I'll review that Zero from Mega Man. He's cool, but he's kind of very niche. I'm not sure how many people are going to want to watch that. Alrighty, and my number 1 pickup of 2022 was something that came out in 2021 that eluded me so hard. I pre-ordered it, and I still didn't make the window to get the first batch, or the second batch, or probably even the third batch. A family member of mine saw it in a store, and I was like, please get that for me. But by the time I saw the message, they had already left, and they were like an hour away from the store. So I missed it again. However, I finally got what some people consider to be one of the best Gunpla of all time, the real grade high new Gundam. Not only is this one of the best Gunpla ever made, but fun fact, the new Gundam is one of my favorite Gundams ever. So the fact that one of my favorite Gundams ended up getting one of the best Gunpla, yeah, I wanted this real bad. And it killed me that it kept eluding my grasp. However, I knew, it's Gunpla. They get restocked all of the time. You just have to catch it when it's restocked. And thankfully, I was finally able to catch it in stock. I was able to order it, and I got it, and I'm very happy. The high new Gundam this was worth the wait. This is definitely worthy of the hype. It's funny, the blue of the of Zero's sword is actually like manipulating the color. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's kind of funny. But yeah, this guy's remarkable. He's just truly stunning. The color, the design, the articulation, the engineering. I actually have him posed where his knee is bent, so you can see how the armor shifts and bends for the knee joint. Real Grade is an outstanding model kit line, and I think this is the best Real Grade ever. I do have the Real Grade, or the RX-78, RX-93 FF, like the life-sized new Gundam. I have that. I have not built it yet. That's very exciting, because I didn't want to get the standard new Gundam. I think it's kind of cool to have a Real Grade of like the life-sized redesign. I will be getting the Real Grade Sazabi, the clear color version, because I wanted that kind of different from like my normal HGUC. It's like I don't want just a normal Sazabi on the shelf again. I do not have the Real Grade Xiong yet. I'm holding out for a P Bandai Perfect Xiong. That's what I've been holding out for this whole time. But if that never happens, I'll just cave and I'll get the normal Real Grade. But there we go. There's my #1 pickup of the year. Essentially, a figure I was as salty that I couldn't get in 2022 and 2021. You know, I finally got it this year. As soon as I got it, I built it because I couldn't wait. I had so many other kits that I'd bought before it, but I was like, nope. High New Gundam needs to be priority, and it's definitely worth being priority. Love this guy so much. He claimed one of my display bases permanently because he needs to be up in the air. He needs to be on display like this because he is gorgeous. One hell of a figure. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Is my top 10 pickups of 2022. Very robot heavy because I shifted a lot of my collecting into robots this year. I kind of dialed it back with, getting various action figures. I did delve into getting some older Batman stuff, and that was definitely the peak of that. I got some Marvel Legends stuff like that SpiderMan. Some Marvel stuff like that Iron Man. However, when it comes to getting older stuff, I focused on robots. Not a single Star Wars thing on this list. Not a single one. Not a lot of older Star Wars stuff for me to go back and get, honestly. There's not a lot. I did get some really cool ones, though. I finally got Nadar Veb, which was one I was really wanting, but definitely not top 10 worthy. Like, Nadar Veb, really, you think that's better than number 10? And number 10 was Superposable Spider-Man. No. Nadar Veb ain't on that level. He's not on the level of any of these. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the members of the channel. I just shifted over from Patreon to membership, so it's slow growing, but thank you so much for those who have jumped on already. Alrighty, guys. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.